It's now time for the top minis of the week. This is for September 10th through September 17th. This is a collection of the best miniatures that have been painted and published this week that I scoured the internet for. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Putty and Paint, Cool Mini or Not, personal blogs, all over the place. So let's get into it. First up, Akonos from Natalia Orach. This is the second version that she's painted. I think the first one was late last year, and it was a cooler tone, more purples and blues. This is a nice green, yellow. It's very warm. See another side. It's another fantastic paint job from her. She's only been painting for like 5 years, and her skill is incredible. Alright, next we have Yama, Daughter of Twilight, from RNR Lazaro. This is one of my favorite painters. Very, very skilled. The OSL on this is top notch. I love the colors, the greens and blues. Pairs perfectly with the purple flesh and the hair, and the way he did like the veiled face, very sheer veil. It's very, very good. And here's the back. You can see more OSL from the candles getting onto the hand. And this like flaming skull thing putting light onto the back, and it has this nice non-metallic gold back piece there that stands out from all the other dark, cold flesh and hair. Very quality piece. Alright. Monteperti 1260 by Marc Massat. He's a very great historical painter. His texture on this like cotton padding, like armor, very good. It's nice and dirty like they are at war. It's a very good base too. The grime on the shields, very good. Just the fact that he painted these shields white. It has a nice transition from cooler shadows to warmer highlights. It's very, very good. There's the back. See more. He's got this kind of dingy brownish white for the padded armor and this like sack, contrasted with the more pure, I guess, pure white, less dirty, I guess you'd say, not really pure white of the shields. Very good painting. Now we have the first Baby Kappa bust from Spira Millibalis. This one painted by the great Sam Lenz. I just love how warm and rich the yellow is on this. It's very hard to paint yellow like that, and he did a fantastic job. It works great with the red trim as well. And you can see this baby's Kappa's face. The flesh he did for it is a very nice green, and he's got the pink cheeks. Really good. We'll see this bust again in just a bit. We got probably my favorite piece from the week. The Dungeon Explorers from Chris Scher. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, because on interview with the artist from Vince Ventrella, he called him Chris Schur, and he wasn't corrected. I know the H is the third letter and not the second letter, but anyway. His work is just incredible. He makes these insane pieces, whether it's a diorama or like a 4-piece display that all ties together. They're all separate pieces, but they all tell one part of a story. And this is a great diorama mixing a bunch of different models from different companies. It's like a D&D party looking to get that loot. It's another angle. You should go check this out on Putty and Paint. You get lots more angles, close-ups. Not only is the storytelling in the piece great, but the painting is top-notch. Chris is a fantastic painter, one of the best American painters out there. This piece is incredible. And here is Ebb and Flow from Romain Schumacher. Very lovely cold skin. It's got some scale on the bottom there, reminiscent of like a mermaid. Maybe this is a mermaid bust, and all you see is the little bit on the bottom. So she's like deep in the ocean. Not a lot of light, so I get this nice cold, pale light. The non-metallic metal is very good with... It's not too bright, because if you make it too bright, it kind of kills the whole low light mood that it's going for. He did a perfect job of balancing, showing that it's metal, but it's not too highlighted to be like, well, where's this extra light coming from, and why isn't it hitting the flesh? So here's the second baby kappa. This is by May Art. Once again, she did a yellow shirt. It's not as vibrant, but still very, very good. It's nicely shaded. Went for a black trim instead of a red trim. The texture she put on the kimono is fantastic, as well as the color. The color goes great with the yellow. Kind of a turquoise, teal. I keep forgetting. One has more green, one has more blue. I think I would look it up, but I never do. Their baby kappa is a nice shade of green as well. Mayart is a fantastic artist. And look at that work on the gourd too. Just so much texture all over. This is a great piece. Alright, next up, Gravo the Goblin, Martin Gomez. I love the metal that he did for the halberd. Very rusted, worn metal. That checker pattern on his like wrist glove bindings or whatever, very nice. The skin is excellent. Like, look at that stomach, the way it's highlighted. It's very nicely done. And the nice purple, pinkish nose. Very good. And this whole model is just so fun. Like, all the little details all over it. Like the deer antlers taped to the helmet. The skull on the halberd. Let's pronounce that correctly. And I like the pinkish rocks. It really contrasts with the skin very well, so it makes the model pop out more from the base. It's really good. Now we got the king of basing here. The Dwarf King from Oliver Spaeth. His nature bases are probably the best out there. It's fantastic. And this is a fun little vignette. Got a little bird in the tree there. He's got some fish in the water. The attention to detail he puts into every model is staggering. Of course, the metal is great. The beard, like all the different hair work, it's excellent. And this is War from Eric Swinson, based on War from Darksiders. This was a piece that was actually from ReaperCon. I know last week I mentioned ReaperCon pieces, but he didn't actually put this up on Putty and Pater Instagram until this week, so that's why it's here. But this is great. The red that he uses for the for his cloak, the way it's highlighted, all the OSL, the like glowing embers going everywhere, the lava dripping from the demon's head. It's a fantastic piece. And all the little reflections in the metal, very, very good. And I like that backdrop too. And then for the rocks on the base, because it's lava, you don't really have to do much. Just basically painted it black, shaded it a little bit lighter in some spots, and put a tiny bit of highlight on the edges. And it just lets the lava do all the work. It's great. Here we have Goose from Lucas Zaba. Another fantastic painter. Someone who's won Best in Show at Scale Model Challenge. Very difficult thing to do. The way he does leather is incredible. Just all the like aging and weathering and scratches he does. The rhino skin looks great too, and the horns look very realistic. And I like that he went with like an orange orc flesh rather than the typical green. I'm a big fan of non-traditional orc flesh. Oranges, purples, even yellows. They all work great for orc flesh. And he's got this like armband tattoo. Even that is textured. Still did the elbows like pinkish. All the folding, it would be discolored from the regular flesh. You can see more leather work on the helmet there. Very good. We have the Puppeteer from Magnus Fagerberg. This is a great piece. Obviously, the model does a lot. The painting is very, very good as well. The flesh on the skin, it's flesh on the skin. On the face, it's very nice the way he's got some yellow in there, right into the shading. It's a very good use of light. He's got the darker chin showing some stubble. And doing that much red, that had to be a pain in the butt. You do the same color so much. But he did it very, very well. And I really like, it's very subtle, but I like the metal on the necklace on the Puppeteer. It's another good showing of metal and shadow. It'll still catch some light, but not too much. It's a very fine rope to walk when doing shadow non-metallic metal, or even true metallic metal. Alright, here we have Skull Tower from Pavel Makuch. Sorry, his name is difficult for me. And otherwise known as Monstroys. He is another incredible painter. He likes to go crazy with color. And this is a much bigger diorama. I couldn't fit the whole picture in here. So I encourage you to go check out his putty and paint and look at everything. The Big Knight is from Kingdom Death. I'm not sure what the other two miniatures are from, but it's It's a very nice piece. The detail on the skull here is incredible. All the little texture work everywhere. The basing is great here. You can see more of the model. Like, look at all the bricks that are going to be in there, all individually painted. This thing probably took a long time to paint. It is fantastic. Alright, and finally, Kyle from Kiro Kainaev. Of course, this has to be the last one. Kirill is highly regarded as the best miniature painter in the world. There's some debate on who your favorite is and who's better, him or Michael Pisarski. I think it's okay to be tied. They're both incredible. The metal on the shield is just, it just looks real. It's incredible. The light that he's able to play with light so well. Like, it's hard to talk about this piece just because of how good it is. He is a master. That's really all you have to say about Kirill. Alright. And that was the top minis of the week for this week. And we'll do this again next Friday at 2 p.m. I hope to see you there.